Micheal. Ooh, what's up? I'm Nene, aka the Piscean Seer, and this is one of your daily collective messages. Like, and subscribe if you get anything out of this. Thank you so very much to those of you who do like, subscribe, and comment. It is always and forever going to be loved and appreciated. God, archangels, ancestors, ascended masters, cosmic guides, all things of the highest and purest white light only, with the best interest of me and the collective at heart. You are always and forever welcome into my readings, okay? Please give my wonderful, fabulous, and amazing Pisces here family the best and most accurate information for them at this time. Welcome to any new subscribers, okay? Welcome back to my beautiful subscribers who are already here. I love and appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Thank you so very much for coming, and thanks for coming back, okay? So I was not gonna record today. You see I got this hat on because my hair is not done. Because I wasn't gonna work yesterday, but I ended up working all day until like 8. So then I was up all night doing my hair until like 4. So this morning when I got up, Spirit was like, okay, just do one. And plus everybody left. So it's kind of empty right now, so I like to take advantage of that kind of time, okay? This is an ancestor message. So I seen on a lady's shirt, it said, I don't act my age, I act my shoe size, okay? And at first I wrote inner child energy, which could be totally true. Your inner child is very healthy, and honestly, when it comes to people who are very immature, because that's the other side of it, you know, when it comes to people that are very immature, I feel like you could find yourself like wanting to take it there, like because your inner child is alive and well, you know, you kind of want to give them a little bit of attitude or whatever. We got on your knees, okay, and we got lights out. I feel like there could be like a little bit of drama around you, or just people, you know, just people doing people stuff. Not necessarily doing anything too much. Of course, I do feel like there's some bullshit here, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know, you really could be kind of in the dark a little bit, and I think that's kind of how your ancestors want you, you know. I think they're like lacing you at this time with new clothes, you know. I feel like I heard I got a new attitude, you know. I feel like they're just trying to promote positivity when it comes to the way that you're thinking, you know. But I think that once again, there could be people around you that want to get kind of petty with you, okay? We got You're a Warrior right here. We got California right here, okay? So California could be highly significant. We got the Four of Pentacles, which is talking about releasing people, places, and situations that don't serve you, you know. And I feel like you have really done that. And also I feel like you've built up your wealth, your worth, your value that you have going on within yourself, and it's really beautiful, you know. It's giving by myself at the top, like a cocoon ass energy, okay? And then we got the Queen of Swords, because this is what I'm saying. I feel like you really are thinking before you're dealing with people, and that's really good, you know. I think you're around people who are suffering from this energy of loss, you know, and because they're losing things, they kind of want to control their outside environment. But I think they're learning a hard lesson when it does come to like trying to control you, or trying to get in the way of your creativity, or trying to make you drop your vibration in some sort of way. Like, there's just a lot of people that are kind of chasing you around, and you kind of just want to be in this solitude energy because you're in this 5D energy, you know. You're really focused on your big goals, and I feel like the energy is just split right down the middle, you know. Like, I mean, I heard also, like, you could not even know anybody who's like chasing their dreams or chasing their goals at this time. And I don't know, like I said, I heard an odd man out, you know. It just makes you seem like, you know, you're odd or you're strange because you're actually doing what you should be doing with your life. We got gang stalking and we got obstacles, okay? So definitely people trying to put obstacles in your way. We got grave, okay? Somebody could be doing graveyard magic. We got detective because your intuition is on, and I feel like you really do know everything. Your ancestors keep you up on game, okay? So what's their overall energy? So we got yes, okay? So they agree with everything I just said. But what else? But also, I feel like you are saying yes to a lot more things, even things that kind of annoy you, and you don't really feel like dealing with it. I feel like with the Eiffel Tower, you're seeing things from a higher perspective, and you're operating off of these good archangel level vibrations, you know? And I don't know. people could just be a little bit mad, or they could just be trying to subtly sabotage you or trying to get in your way, but you're still being like very warmly receptive. Also, there's a lot of like questions in the air about you and what you do and what you're into. Are they a witch? Like, what do they have going on? And I can definitely relate to that. I feel like when people come around or when they come over here to stay here, because I know it's rumors out here in these streets about me and what I do and how I get down. You know what I mean? I feel like when they come over here, they expect to see like, a whole bunch of like woo woo shit, me lighting candles, and like the most they see me do is clean up and sage this bitch and smoke some weed, because I'm just trying to chill and just keep my head right and just not say nothing, because I don't always need to say nothing to folks. And so I think that's kind of where you are too, like I said, trying to keep your mind very positive, focusing on a higher perspective and not getting into the little bitty petty bullshit that could be going on around you. Yeah, all totally in this lover energy. What's this? Networker. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. Like, I think you're just focused on building something at this time. What's the outside energy? We got alchemist. Okay, so it says transformation of base motives and goals into wisdom, okay? Which is kind of what I was saying, I think you're just getting more and more wise the more you do like this trial and error type of thing, or the more you try to like make the best things happen, right? And then on the outside of you, you got people trying to misuse their power and knowledge that come through anything spiritual that they might do, or that comes through other spiritual people. So there's an energy of like somebody doing readings on you, okay? Somebody trying to find out your business and what's up with your energy. We got the Knight, okay? So somebody, I heard Knight of Pentacles, okay? Giving me Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. I also heard the Knight of Wands, okay? So that's Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And then the shadow attribute says allegiance to a destructive ruler or principle, romantic delusions, Like, you could just know some very delusional people, like, like they think they're better than you. They think they have a lot going on, and really they don't have shit going on. And they just feel the need to attack you because you got good vibrations and you're seeing things from a higher perspective. We got Samaritan, and then we got King. And ain't this giving King of Pentacles? And they just did this the other day, They compared the Page and the King of Pentacles, like side by side. I think that might have been the Ascended Masters, but I'm not sure. But I feel like you're kind of advanced, You're a very mature type of energy. You're enlightened, and you have benevolent leadership, and those that are in your charge, or those people you take care of or you show love to, they always benefit from that love and from that time and from that energy that you put into them. I'm not going to keep the states that come out, okay? I'm going to put them to the side, not throw them back in the deck, but that's what always my directions with this deck, okay? So it says making something out of nothing. This is what I'm saying. Like, people are trying to make issues or problems out of nothing with you, and it's just really hard. We got Massachusetts, okay? We already had California, so I'm gonna pull that out. What else? We got Georgia, and we got Iowa, okay? We got watch CIA full report on brain synchronization, energy manifestation, and the holographic universe. But what I really get from this is like, I don't know, like this energy of somebody trying to like sync up with you, trying to sync up with the way that you think, trying to sync up with your manifestation energy, so that like when things are coming in for you, things are also coming in for them. We got siren energy, and I just feel like, I don't know, maybe they use niceties, or maybe, they just try to like put on this big front, like they care for you or they want you around, but it's kind of to just pull you in, like the siren song is. What's this? It says, I can become a party to no such absurd proceeding, period, okay? And that's what I'm saying. Like, you're just not even trying to entertain any of this shit. Like, you're not allowing anybody access to your energy. And your ancestors love that. They want you to keep that going, because that's really like your saving grace right now, okay? It says nature gives to every time and season some beauties of its own, okay? And it's like, you're one of them, baby. Like, nature or God or the universe has given you to the people that you are around, have just given you to this you know, all the people that run into you on this path. And it's like, if they're not treating you right, or if they're just trying to benefit off your energy in some sort of negative way, then their access is being cut off from you. And people are just having a hard time understanding that shit. Like, they think it's a game, okay? We got Oklahoma. What else? We got Arkansas. One more for this roll. We got preying on your downfall, okay? So, this is what I'm saying. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, these bitches is like, okay, I'm hearing it again. And they wishing and wishing and wishing. They wishing and wishing on your downfall, you know. They pretend not to know or do magic, and they play in your face a lot, okay? They don't understand your loving and forgiving nature. They think that it's something to be taken advantage of, that because you're so nice or you're so cool that they could just get you. I seen 1044, okay? So 144 could be highly significant. Of course, that 0 always representing the energy of God in your life, right? God is in your life, making sure that everything works out for you in the most positive way. I seen 1101, okay? So continue to follow your intuition when it does come to dealing with people and certain situations, okay? It says trying to deceive the chosen ones with faulty black magic and trickery, okay? So it's like whatever magic they are doing, that shit is faulty as fuck. It doesn't even work. And hating behind the scenes gonna have them broken homeless, okay? We got Washington right here. These people are ashamed of the choices that they've made in life, and you're following this like living body map that you have going on within yourself. You know, maybe in the past they thought they was going to stage some sort of suicide or get you, you know, do some sort of arson, some sort of staged house fire or something like that, but all of their plans continue to fall through. They never get you the way that they want to get you. And so, like, your ancestors is whooping people's ass. Yeah, it says, stay at your best, baby. Okay, so stay at your best, you know. But also, that's an Aaliyah song, okay? So more of that, like, sacrifice type of energy. We got Louisiana. But I feel like you've been putting forth this surplus of effort. It says a surplus of effort could overcome a deficit of confidence, you know. I feel like as you've been putting in all this effort, you've been building up your confidence and really just, you know, presenting as a new person, even though we know that the best parts of you are still within you, you know. And they really resent you for evolving past the old you know. The demons, they enjoy hiding in plain sight, and I feel like that's kind of what they're trying to do, but they're not hiding. I think you're very aware of who is on what and you're just not allowing people to like overtake your energy in a negative way. And that's why no obstacles could stop you at this time, because of your mindset and because of the way that you follow your ancestors' guidance. We got the Wheel of Fortune falling out right here, you know. I feel like just like they try to make something out of nothing with the drama, you make something out of nothing when it comes to getting this bag, when it comes to getting this money, when it comes to focusing on what's important, when it comes to taking care of your family and all of these different things. I seen 1313, you know. You bring a death to anything that doesn't serve you or anything that doesn't further your family or your life, and that's exactly what you need to continue to do. What's this synchronization? They don't understand your loving and forgiving nature and siren energy. We got the Emperor, okay? So Aries energy is highly significant. You could be an Aries or somebody else can, okay? It could be a masculine that's trying to like sync brains and manifestation energies with you, you know? They could find you very sexy also with this siren energy, you know? But they don't understand that your loving and forgiving nature is what keeps you very stable, and that's why they keep doing stupid shit, okay? What's the siren energy trying to deceive with faulty and trickery? We got the 8 of Pentacles, okay? So this that work, okay? This the work they out here doing. Like this faulty black magic and trickery, it isn't working out for them, you know? And it's like, if I was talking about this 8 of Pentacles related to you, then I would talk about how, you know, you've been just working hard and perfecting everything that you've been doing. And that is true, but while you've been doing that, they've been working hard and trying to perfect some black magic that was faulty from the jump, because their intuition, I mean, not their intuition, well, their intuition is not where it needs to be, but also their intentions are not where they needed to be. So the minute they started a spell or started to put their energy into whatever it is that they keep trying to do in the background, they failed because their intuition was on some negative shit, and that's just not where we're at, you know. What's I can become a party to no such absurd proceedings, hating behind the scenes, gonna have them broken, homeless, and nature gives. We got the Six of Cups, you know. So I feel like the result of where people are and how things are going for them has a lot to do with certain people's moves in the past. And it's like this energy of people not wanting to take accountability for the things that they've tried to do to you in the past, or not wanting to own up to the shit that they've been getting up to behind the scenes. Yeah, with the sun though, they don't have any choice. They're always going to be exposed for trying to keep you from staying at your best or for preying on your downfall. What's the Wheel of Fortune and the Emperor? We got the Five of Wands, okay? And this is what I'm saying. They're trying to bring conflict to your stability, to your loving and forgiving nature, you know? Trying to use this faulty ass magic to stop your Wheel of Fortune, and they could never. Who they think they are to have the power to stop fate or to stop destiny? We got the Knight of Cups, because your love offers always still come in, and the Knight of Cups always gives me that energy of like fake love, you know. And this Knight energy did come out up here, you know. So it's like these people don't even have allegiance to God, you know. They got allegiance to something else, to themselves, or to some sort of like darker energy that's attached to themselves. And some of them aren't even aware that she is attached to them. They just out here doing stupid stuff and not understanding when they reap the consequences from their actions, okay? What's the Eight of Pentacles and the Six of Cups? We got the Empress, okay? But you stay fertile, you stay beautiful, you stay amazing because of all this work that you've put into your journey, and because of all of this time and love that you've put into yourself. Yeah, we got the Three of Cups going with the Six of Cups and the Sun, you know. It's like all that work you put in the past is the reason why people are being exposed, and why now is the time of celebration for you in your life. You freed yourself from any and all mental entrapments that you put yourself in and that other people tried to put you into, you know. And now you're holding all this potential, holding all this value, and nobody could really hurt you ever again the way that they were hurting you with the Ace of Swords, you know. Like they want you to juggle. They want you to juggle this star energy, this high priestess energy with this Three of Swords energy. Like they want you to go back and forth. They don't want your energy to be balanced or to be in a place where you can continue to move forward and to grow and to thrive the way that your ancestors intend for you to do. Yeah, with the Four of Pentacles. So there could be some people that you're going to have to release, okay? Like just release those people. Okay, because I'll part the deck to the Four of Pentacles again and the Queen of Swords. Like I think that you've been thinking about like who's necessary, or like really paying attention to people to see what kind of vibe that they're on, and you might not like what you're seeing, and it's because you're seeing the damn truth, you know. So really trust yourself when you do see these things. What's the Wheel of Fortune, the Five of Wands, and the Emperor? We got divine creation, okay? Continue to focus on your divine creation, but that's what I was saying. This is what they're trying to bring the conflict to, you know? But you're too accepting of yourself, and you're too like devoted and committed to your personal commitments that you've made, you know. And you could even be feeling like more euphoric, much more happy about life and where you're going, very optimistic about the future. And these bitches just don't like that. What's the Emperor, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Knight of Cups? We got the Anticarata, okay? They're mad. They're so mad. And it's not a healthy anger. It's an unhealthy anger. Like to be mad about somebody else's divine creation and their ability to, you know, cross that rainbow bridge and connect with the divine. Like they're so mad. And then we got this this dove with the olive branch, that beautiful energy of you constantly connecting with the divine, talking to angels, talking to God, talking to your ancestors, and really getting all the answers and the guidance that you need. It really irritates these people, and they know they have to come in and offer you some sort of love in order for you to even be open and accepting to them. Like, they know if they come in with the drama, you're just going to shut down and be like, no, I'm good, and not even entertain that bullshit. What's the Eight of Pentacles, the Empress, and the Six of Cups? We got Lord Melchizedek, okay? It says indecision, ego-based actions, and lifestyle change. And it's funny because I just did a Melchizedek reading, okay? And he was talking about, your potential being unlocked and your future, sort of parts of your future being unwritten, which goes right along with that in the dark card that I showed you, the lights out card, where the lady was in the dark with the eyes, It's like, it might seem like there's too much going on around you, or you can't seem to like hold your footing or stay steady, but that's not the reality of the situation. Really, you're very stable with the both sides of yourself. You're about to make a lot of moves with your masculine energy, and it's just very important that you keep the feminine side of you very balanced and don't let out like the she wolf in you to attack these people or to like check anybody, because I feel like that will really affect your energy, and you just don't have time for that. Yeah, trust your spirit guides, trust the way that they're guiding you, and trust that they're handling everything when it comes to exposing people and to making sure that you get that big celebration. I heard of the big payback. Like, these people are going to feel so jaded, so upset when you make it to where the fuck you actually meant to go. Whew, they can't. So make sure you keep an eye out for signs at this time, because it says look for signs, it says philosophical discussions, and it says supervision. You can feel like people are trying to like supervise you, trying to like handle you. I get that feeling all the time. Like, stop trying to handle me. I don't need a handler. Y'all failed, okay? So there's no point in trying to keep assigning me a fucking handler, okay? I cannot be handled. Okay? What they need to do is handle themselves and try to figure out where it is that they want to go in the future. What's divine creation in Antikarana? We got the violet fire, okay? So your ancestors are asking you to really take advantage of transmutation at this time, Take the time to detoxify after being around certain people that give you the willies or the heebie-jeebies, and also trust your psychic visions. And also it says constant distraction. I feel like people are trying to keep you in a state of constant distraction, where you don't do what you're supposed to do, where you lose your zest for life, because you're too focused on doing other shit you shouldn't be doing, right? Like, they want you somewhere holed up, just like getting high all day, not working and not having any goals. And I don't understand how that's gonna help them in the future if they plan on being in your life. But whatever, that's stupid to try to make sense out of their motives. Okay, we got 222 right here. Okay, so a divine counterpart could also be highly significant. Okay, you could have one coming in. I always say this, but there's been a lot of this magic about the divine counterparts and these divine couples that are supposed to be coming together. I don't know why they're attacking the love so hard. Okay, I seen 2244. What's Antikarana and Lord Melchizedek? We got the Temple of Mary, okay? So you're very innocent, my love, okay? And you're accurately expressing your emotions, okay? Like, good and bad. I feel like people really don't know what to expect from you or what they're going to get from you, what you're going to say, And also, I feel like people try to like exploit your innocence or exploit your niceness just because they think like, you're weak or you're silly for being nice all the time. Like, they don't understand why you're not bitter and sad and in an upset type of energy all the time. What's Lord Melchizedek and spirit guides, even though they go out of their way to make you feel uncomfortable or to like try to invade your space? Yeah, we got the language of light. So of course you speak the language of light every single day and every moment. You've rediscovered who you are and what makes you beautiful, and you choose to communicate with your spirit guides first before you consult anyone else. And that's why you're so ahead of your time. That's why your vibrations are so high. And that's why you're able to say yes to a lot more things now, because you've got your protection up. The first card, one of the first cards I showed you was you're a warrior, you know, and you have really been putting up a very fair fight, you know, and allowing your guides to fight for you. And then there's a dolphin back here in the background, so that happy, cheerful, joyful type of energy. And also this thing behind her kind of reminds me of Metatron's cube, or gives me like this sacred geometry type of energy. You could really be into sacred geometry, or your ancestors could be guiding you more towards doing a little bit of research when it comes to that. And I think that would be really great. But also I think you have a very strong connection with Archangel Metatron at this time, so take advantage of it, you know. Meditate with Archangel Metatron. It's very powerful every time, and he always gives me something when I do it, you know. Like he'll literally like be like, okay, read this. Like I have this sacred geometry book, and I always know it's Archangel Metatron because he always sends me to that book, you know. And he'll have me like read a little bit of it, because I've been like just reading a little bit at a time. I'll run into a meditation within that book usually, and then I'll do that meditation, and then I won't be called to read the sacred geometry book for a long time, you know. And so it's just like you have to be on the lookout. That's why they said looking for signs, you know. You have to be on the lookout for your angels guiding you to certain things. You know, you might be like, oh, I want to read this, or I want to do that, you know. All I want to do today is this, you know. And that's kind of like your guidance sometimes, you know. That's what they want you to be doing. They want you to be sitting down, just chilling, reading, or, you know, making sure that you're doing a little bit, you know. Because today, like I said, I wasn't going to record, but you know, I felt that call to do it, and you know, really my hair could wait. That's really all I have to do today. I'm not gonna record tomorrow though, because I have to go to, or I have to take my son to orientation, because yay, school is starting back, okay? But anyway, we got the celestial channel, you know. You are a hidden beauty, you know, but you're not hidden because you're like hiding, or because it's not obvious that you're beautiful. I think people just want to kind of ignore your beauty and kind of make more fun of you for staying neutral, rather than entering into their drama and into their conflict, you know. So follow your guidance majorly at this time. Let's divine creation, the violet fire, and the anti-Corona bridge. We got rise above, okay? So continue to rise above the negativity, the low vibrational shit. This says drama, obstacles, pettiness. Find the strength to rise. Like, continue to rise above this negativity. I feel like they could be trying to like emotionally bait you, you know, because there's this hot air balloon over the water, you know. I think you're over all of the water, over all of the emotions, and all of the stupid shit that people have to do. Like, people have to make things, you know, like my aunt died, okay, and everybody was over here, and we was barbecuing and shit, and then like two of my cousins was just like bickering back and forth and just saying a whole bunch of unnecessary stupid shit. And I said, both of y'all is using too many words right now. I mean, for real, because who the fuck wants to hear that? I don't want to hear that shit. Like, why don't y'all just say what y'all mean, you know what I mean, and stop dancing around what you actually trying to say. Like, bitch, just say that shit and then shut up, because don't nobody want to hear that. Like, jeez. So I feel like, you know, you're rising above that kind of shit. Like, you just don't want to hear it. Like, you're just tired of people being extra and being extra emotional when it's not even necessary, you know. What's Antikarana, the Temple of Mary and Lord Melchizedek? We got romance, okay, which is going right on top of where I said 222 was at, and I started talking about the divine counterpart. There is romance here for you, okay? I think now is the time for you to kind of revel in romance. I think you're going with the flow when it comes to love, or you're about to, you know, get into this flow of romance with someone special. Someone wants to like entice you, and they want you to be open to romance, and this is someone that your ancestors have like handpicked, is what I heard. They handpicked this person to be in your life. And I think with energies like this around you, like you have to be with someone who has also dealt with energies like that and who really understands where you're coming from. And that's exactly where your ancestors have sent you. What's Lord Melchizedek, spirit guides in the language of light? We got travel, okay? So there could be a lot of travel coming up for you soon, okay? It says movement, meeting, adventure, and be ready for new experiences, okay? So your ancestors know you're very tired of the drama, tired of the bullshit, and you're not willing to participate in it anymore. So they're bringing in a lot of new experiences, a lot more fun and happy times, so that, you know, you can really thrive the way that you're meant to do. Like, you're not always going to be around people who try to show you fake love or try to bring conflict to you. What's rise above in romance? We got home, okay? So you could be getting a new home. You could be moving, okay? But they want you to move you to a place where you feel more cozy, where you feel warm, where you feel secure, where you feel at home, where people aren't trying to like invade your boundaries, or, you know, like where people ain't just like popping up at your house. Because I got that some strong pop-up energy. You could have some sort of ex-lover who feels that you're about to get a new love, trying to pop up and see like what they could do or how they could affect your life, or how they can wiggle back in there and cause conflict for you, okay? But it's all failing. Like, they will not be successful because you've transformed your base motives and goals into golden wisdom, and you know better. What's romance and travel? We got lessons, okay? So you're teaching these people some hard lessons at this time. Also, you could be someone who like reads the Bible, or the Bible really interests you, okay? It says knowledge, understanding, look for the lesson in this situation, okay? So when it does come to like dealing with drama, or when you do find yourself around people you don't necessarily want to be around, like just pay attention for the lessons and just see shit for what it is and move accordingly, okay? Like, these people are in an energy of loss, like I already said, and it's important that you surrender to the divine and continue to run away from that drama, okay? Yeah, we got the community, okay? We got split energy, and we got forgive, you know? It's like these people are not themselves. Like, they're torn between the two versions of themselves, you know? Like, these are people who haven't integrated. The two sides of them aren't working well as a team, you know? So you just have to like forgive them and continue to walk down this hidden path and keep being in this fertile, divine, feminine, healing type of energy, and just don't let it be too much to where you're like going on this destruction path. Yeah, we got the summer, okay? But also this gives me the energy of like this summer, people working really hard to like destroy you or destroy what you have going on, to destroy your time to receive and to keep you from ascending in some sort of way, all because they're in denial of your blessings. Like, my blessings are not for you to believe in, bitch. Okay? Like, what is meant for me is supposed to come to me, and I'm the only one who's supposed to have like a clear perception or a clear understanding of what I'm doing with God. It's like people are too focused on you and your connection that you have with the divine, and when they need to be focusing on themselves, and why they feel so comfortable with settling for where they are, why they're not looking for more or going after more in their life. Why aren't they going after the things that make them happy? Why aren't they trying to use their masculine energy to further themselves and their lives, you know? Like, they're stuck in this cycle, and they're hating on you and your self-worth and your sacred journey, and getting hella mad because they can't control you, and like reminiscing and shit over the times where they could control you. And somebody could be reminiscing about the union that y'all used to have. Like, you got somebody just really sitting in like this pause energy, really thinking about you and how when you were around, you know, the space felt sacred and you feel so safe, you feel so comfortable. I think they get very used to that. They get really addicted to the energy that you offer and that you carry, and you just have to like remain aware of that and just keep moving accordingly, okay? Because your ancestors they're taking care of it, okay? We got clarity, okay? Anything hidden being revealed, the light being shed on any confusing situation. Things done in the dark are being brought to the light, okay? That's what your ancestors is doing. They bring in any and everything that's happening in the dark to the light, and they want you to just focus on forgiving these people who have chosen to work for the dark forces, and look at the ancestors right up under that. Hello. They whooping ass out here. Please know it. I seen food magic. I also seen words, People could be trying to like cut you down with their words, but in a nice way, like, that energy where they acting like they joking, or they acting like they just, like they just kidding with you, but they throwing big ass shade. What's rise above romance and home? We got clarity again. Okay, so anything hidden is being revealed. The light is being shed on any confusing situation. Things done in the dark are being brought to the light. What's romance, lessons, and travel? We got secret rituals, okay? And that's what I was saying with that faulty black magic and trickery, okay? It says ceremonies and rituals done in private to achieve an agenda. This may involve a group of people or be done by a solitary practitioner. What kind of secret rituals they out here doing? We got ancestors. Nothing your ancestors ain't seeing, or they could be doing secret rituals to try to separate you from the elders of your bloodline, or try to separate you from your spirit family that came before you, We got amulet. You could wear an amulet. They could be trying to, get rid of your amulet, or, try to like affect your protection, okay? Like they don't want you to be protected from evil and danger and disease, or to attract good fortune. What else? We got spiritual cleansing, okay? So they also could be doing rituals to try to cleanse their own spirit from all the negative things that they've been getting into, all the things that they've been trying to do to you, They're trying to cleanse themselves of any negative energies and trying to remove negative debris from themselves right now, because they're really catching a lot of karma. What else? There's more. What else they doing secret rituals on? We got psychic vampire, okay? So it says seeks high vibing victims and moves in for the kill and drains them dry of their energy. They do not have any sympathy for who they drain, So they're wanting you to feel very drained, to feel weak, like to feel like you can't go on. You don't want to do nothing today, But they're low level demons, and there's really no power that they have, It says a demonic force whose skills are less advanced or effective and easy to detect. It may take a gang of them to attack one spiritual warrior. And I showed you the gang stalking card at the beginning too. What's clarity in secret rituals? We got the window, okay? Wow. So it says a gateway, portal, or passageway into something leads the way to your soul, thoughts, intentions, etc. must be protected from intruders. And I think that's what you have been doing. You won't allow these people a window into your soul, these enemies. You're not letting them in, and your ancestors damn sure ain't letting them in, You're being protected from intruders at all costs, and being brought a lot of clarity on the things that they're doing, on the things they're getting into to try to affect you. And the more aware you are about these things, the more educated you are about these things, the more you bring on these karmic lessons to these people who feel the need to surveillance you or to be a clone to you, to these people trapped in the matrix, okay? Like they could be trying to astral travel to you, trying to come into your dreams and things like that. You could be having weird dreams, or sometimes it comes in as like dreaming as celebrities, or like dreaming, that like there's no people in your dreams. They're just like animals, and people are trying to hide in your dreams, trying to disguise. So pay much attention to like that little shit. Make sure you write your dreams down so that you can kind of keep track of what spirit is saying to you. I mean, I put that in my prayers. I include that, like, if there's anyone trying to cloak, trying to hide, make me aware of it, and also let them run straight into Archangel Micheal so he can deal with that energy the way that he sees fit, I also ask that I be surrounded by angels of love, protection, and healing in the dream realm, and also in the physical realm to protect my vessel as I sleep, because somebody is trying to come in with the mind control and words. I also ask that They protect my mind, protect my intellectual property, protect me from anyone trying to implant or extract any and all information out of my mind complex, okay? Like, you just make sure that you're very specific, or that you pray, you're putting whatever you're hearing in your prayers, because like these are things that I hear from spirit to like pray for, like I really follow my intuition when I'm saying my prayers at night, because it changes, it varies, and they will like show you certain things if you ask them, if you ask them to make you aware, or you ask them to bring you clarity in the dream realm, they will, okay? Mind control says mind manipulation through programming and involuntary indoctrination, and manipulation through subconscious implantation, okay? Which sounds like people implanting thoughts or deeds for you to do as you sleep, okay? This says the words, it says sound by vibrations that carries energy and intention, has the power to heal, empower, kill, and destroy, used to speak over a life to influence it, and they're just saying, like, when you speak over your life, when you speak positive things into your life, and when you pray for protection rather than praying for the downfall of others, then that's a lot more powerful. So your prayers are trumping any negative prayers that are that are intended to go toward you having a downfall, or you failing, or you falling off in any way. If it doesn't align with what God wants for you and what your ancestors want for you, then they're not going to be able to affect your energy in any way, okay? And then we got the doorway. They still trying to find, this is them trying to find a way in. Like, somebody really wants to get into your mind, wanting to tap into your energetic source. But between the spiritual and physical realms is what it's saying, It says caution needed. This could be like fake religious people, people that like they're arguing, but they're like trying to use God, being real petty, but trying to use God like right in the middle of the most petty and ungodly situation, right? And then we got illusions, people are trying to paint these illusions like, they're so Christian, or they're so put together, or they're so much better than you, but they just really aren't. They're trying to like do some sort of mind manipulation to make you see things that aren't really there, trying to warp your sense of reality or how you see them, because they know they ain't shit, okay? And it just don't work, because they ain't shit too, right? What is the final thought with this? I see the star and the ace of swords, baby, and that's you all day long. Standing in your truth and allowing yourself to just shine unapologetically. Ooh, we got the 10 of lightning, okay, or the 10 of swords. And then we got the sun at the bottom of the deck, okay, because that shit is being exposed. We got the magician. We got the magician under that, okay? I don't know what bitches think they're getting away with, but they not getting away with shit. They keep attacking you, a beautiful earth angel. This is the Ace of Wands, They keep attacking you, this beautiful earth angel, this leader, this master of your emotions, with the King of Potions, with the 8 of lightning. Like, they're dying to get you in a mental entrapment, but you're too strong for them with the strength. And not only that, with the 6 of Pentacles, you're receiving any and everything that's meant for you. And they finna get what's meant for them too, because your intentions call in what's meant for you. And so, So it says the storm has left, but wreckage remains. So too have you endured a great conflict and been devastated by its brutality. You may feel broken and defeated, unable to continue. Take time to mourn and recover through your suffering. Though your suffering has taken a toll, it is at an end, So it's like you might have had times where you were very irritated lately, you know what I mean? Just really feeling like this strong energy coming from the outside of you, this feeling of irritation, right? This feeling of, almost saying like, I'm having a bad day. Like, no, bitch, I know the power of my words, and I'm not gonna run around telling everybody I'm having a bad day and making my day worse, I feel like even though you felt all that energy and you've been kind of going through the motions with these people, you know that this shit is at an end. Like, this is energy that's working its way out of your life at this time as these people get exposed to you for who they truly are, right? Because being exposed is not always, like everybody, pointing a finger at somebody and like, stoning them or whatever. It's like, it's much more subtle than that, It's just you seeing people for who they are, them saying certain things or doing little things that expose themselves and not really realizing that they have just done that, which they have, like not really realizing that they have just exposed themselves in a major way, and then wondering why you kind of switch it up or why you don't move the same way, because you're on some weird shit, bitch. So reversed, it says your conflict has ended and the storm has passed. Though you've suffered losses, you understand that this brutal end can lead to a more hopeful beginning. You are stronger, wiser, and greater than ever before. And also I want to read the Ace of Candles that I have right here over here. That Earth Angel energy. So it says, a newfound passion has begun to burn within your heart. Follow the flames to begin a journey filled with inspiration, ambition, and expansion. The start of a new adventure lies before you. Should you be brave enough to face the flames, and I think you absolutely are. Like, you've really built up your bravery, built up your confidence, and you're looking so good at this time. Like, your ancestors are so proud of you and the way that you're choosing to see things from a higher perspective, and the way that you are like not giving into any petty bullshit or anything that really doesn't have much to do with you, So keep acting off of that responsible vibe, and I mean, just do what you feel intuitively called to do, because sometimes, there's a real strong call to like check a bitch. Even though I always tell you guys like, oh, you don't have to go there, you don't have to do that, but sometimes your ancestors would be like, say something. You say something right now to that bitch. Okay. So if you feel that, just really go with how you feel, whatever you're being called to do. But like they said, this shit it has come to an end, okay? You have all the clarity, and there's no secret ritual in the world that can stop you from doing what God told you to do, okay? So, with that, my love, I am done. I hope you guys have a happy, fabulous, wonderful, and amazing day, that you got something that you need out of this, and I will see you later. Bye.